Hey, welcome back to the Board Game Closet. My name's Jimmy.
I'm Rod.
And today we are mourning
We didn't get to go to GenCon this year.
a GenCon that was not.
We had nothing. Normally we'd be so excited right now.
We would be doing like a 2020, the top 5 things at GenCon 2020. Let's
Best
go.
games that we played, whatever best things that we saw. You know?
And now we got nothing.
Frustration.
We got Corona.
Yeah.
Okay, so instead of doing a crying, sympathetic video like that, we decided to go down memory lane from way back when in 2019.
Right.
Talk about all the stuff that we miss at
Right.
GenCon.
And then next year we'll be looking forward to it, right?
Looking forward to. Okay, so here's my started out. One thing I miss about GenCon 2020 is standing in line before the doors open and hearing "Do not run, do not run." It's such an iconic moment at GenCon day one opening
All those
ceremony.
masses of people not slowly walking, but kind of moving quickly to get to the doors and it's squeezing together because of the way they have it set up. If they're bursting through and making it out there, yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that many people together in one area, it's just amazing.
It is. And then, like, just that whole moment of you've thought about Gen Con all year long.
Right.
And you're ready and you've spent all this money and you've gone all that way. And then you're there at the doors and finally they open it up and I mean, Gen Con, I guess conventions in general have an odor about them. But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But anyways, Do Not Run is something that I totally miss about Gen Con.
Mine would be the build-up we just kind of talked about. It's the build-up of like it's the day before when we're headed out for our road trip down there, and what we go through on the road trip to the 2 a.m. in the morning, going to Denny's or whatever.
Denny's at 2 a.m. is an iconic moment about Gen Con.
Going to a truck stop, we're fearful to go to the bathroom, but headed out to Gen Con is just. My whole family is really into it, except for my wife. My wife could care less, and my daughter. But my boys, they love it, and it is so much fun. And I just love the build up with it because there's usually 5 to 6 of us, 7 of us, and it's just such a big build up, and it's just so much fun. It's Christmas for an old man's what it is.
But that road trip thing is so much fun for us because it's not a road trip to go, visit someone, should I say that? It's not a road trip to go do something that you maybe don't want to do or you're
It's about as selfish as it gets.
But this is a road trip where you're like, everything I'm going to experience is about to be amazing.
Yeah, that is it's such a fun time. And I really did miss that this year, really did.
Okay, I want to another thing that I'm nostalgic about is that moment on like day 3 or 4. So it's either Saturday at like 3 o'clock or Sunday at like 11 a.m. and you're walking down, row 400 and you see that you've been down like 1,000 times because you wander that exhibitor hall a whole bunch and you're walking down row number 400 and all of a sudden you see something that there's no way this has been here all weekend long.
It's amazing.
But there's just something about the exhibitor hall specifically that there are so many amazing things around every quarter that you could wander that a vendor's hall for 4 days and still not see everything.
I mean, you could almost, just the artist area itself, if you're into that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, oh my goodness. Every time you go through it, you just see something new. And you get to meet the artists and talk to them directly. It's just amazing. And then, of course, going into the booths and talking to the companies themselves is just an amazing time. I miss it. All right, so my next one's going to be, and this is going to be a surprise one because I haven't talked to him about it, is when that moment that you see something that you've never seen before. And for instance, for me, I can think back, it's maybe 2 years ago, we saw a full-size R2 unit.
Oh, yeah.
That was so amazing. It was dead on, the noises and everything. It was a different color version of whatever, but it was just amazing. And the guy had the remote control, and we talked to him for a while about it, the clubs and stuff for it. And it was just that type of thing where you just have these people that are doing some unique things that are just awesome.
Yeah, I remember that moment. We're walking through what it wasn't the main exhibitor hall, but it was in that extra area off to the side.
Right when you did the
And
magic
the
and
free
stuff.
play, yeah, magic and stuff was over there. And then here's R2, like a life size R2 with all the sounds and the
Yeah.
noises, and it looked like it was roaming on its own.
Yep.
You didn't know dude had a control. But that, yeah, you're right. All those moments, like you have no clue what's going to be waiting for you at this convention.
Sure. That's awesome.
I want to another thing that I'm nostalgic about is that moment when you see coins flying through the air, knocking over card towers. One of the things that they do at GenCon is they build these card towers for charity, and so all weekend long it goes from bare carpet floor to, by the end of the weekend, they have card towers that are so intricate and 10-foot tall, and people have spent all this time building these card towers. And then there's this moment, I think it's on Saturday night, where people all come together and then they throw coins to try to knock over these towers, and they raise so much money for charity, and they do the most unique auction I've ever seen in my life. The whole crowd is involved. Money is falling down from the ceiling. It is the coolest thing ever. And then they raise money and they give it away to well-worthy charities. It is the coolest thing, and I miss that moment of seeing people launch quarters across the room.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll tell you one for me also is you're up in the exhibitors hall and you go into the Pathfinder one because Wizards of the Coast hasn't been there for a while, but they have these gigantic banners for their games in there, and then of course everybody's on these tables playing the games, and these banners are hanging from the ceiling, and they're just like 30 feet tall, and it's just the amazing artwork and the energy that is in that room. It's just electrifying.
It is.
It's just the hair on your back stands up. Those of you who have back hair, but just your arm hair goes up, and it's just like that. Is just so neat. It's just a great feeling.
Well, I mean, think about it in this hobby. Even though it's growing, tabletop in general is growing all over. Whether it's RPGs, board games, card games, Magic, collectible games, whatever, it's growing, right? But still, even though it's growing as much as it is, the majority of the year we feel like we're kind of just these random small groups of people. And then to be able to then go to a place where this isn't just some side hobby, but everybody that is there loves the same thing that you love.
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
Awesome.
Hair is like standing up, and you're like, this is awesome.
That is awesome. Here's another one. This is another hair stander, I guess we'll use. You're walking down to the stadium, inside, underneath, when you go underneath, and you come out and you go up that escalator. To the top portion where there's a drink and stuff. And you come out and just look out in the stadium, and you look down there on the floor, all those people playing games. There are some empty chairs down there, which right away you spot because you know where you want to sit because you're exhausted. And it is just so awesome. It is so much fun.
Yeah, Lucas Oil Stadium filled, and I love the Colts. They're actually my favorite football team, but to go into that stadium, which is massive, huge, but then to see it, like what you said, filled with all these gamers.
Oh, it's amazing. And it's so much fun. And it's such a great place to meet up at and to relax. They keep it, it's nice and cool in the stadium. There's food available to
24 hours. You can play games, rent games.
And there's neat stuff going down in there. I mean, they've got miniature war games going on everywhere there. It is incredible. Yeah, I miss it.
I miss just running into people that I've seen at GenCon, and it's the only place I ever get to see them is at GenCon.
Sure.
So seeing that, I call them once a year friends, and they're not, because we see each other on social media and all that kind of stuff. But just that moment when you get to see somebody, and you don't even get to see them for very long because you got things to do, they got things to do.
Right.
But there's that moment where our lives intersect at a hobby that we love.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see my once a year friends and catch up with them.
Well, it's pretty because it's a bond you already have, right? And it's just like seeing and I know sounds over the top, but it's like seeing a relative, like a brother or somebody.
It is, yeah.
You still have that connection and everything. You only get a few minutes to spend with them, but it's like, those are great people, you know? And it is good. It's very, very good.
I miss that feeling on probably the third day, Saturday, 6 o'clock, when the when they come over the intercom. Attention, GenCon attendees! The exhibitor hall will be closing in approximately 30 minutes. And as much as I hated it every single day, but when it hit whatever time that was, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I can't remember, and then the lights would kick off.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was a sad moment, but then
That's
again,
awesome.
right now, that would be.
Yeah.
But then the night didn't end. Then you'd have your
Right.
other plans. What else are we gonna do? Let's go find some place, Lucas Oil or some restaurant, and let's play games for the rest of the night and never go to bed.
Another one that's an awesome experience right there. The costume parade on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the costumes were so amazing. I mean, the stuff that we've seen there. And last year we have like a whole film of it, right? But it is just incredible what people spend the whole year building, and then they bring it in there, and it is amazing, the stuff that we've seen.
Oh my goodness, yeah, stuff that's mechanical, stuff that's got electrical aspects to
Right.
it, stuff that's 10 foot tall. I don't even know how they got it there. They had to have help to get it through the doors.
And how they could walk around the whole place, because sometimes it's pretty warm in there, and they're in that full costume, but they are into it, and it is awesome to see. But what it is seeing somebody who's so much into something that is, I mean, because we're all hobbyists, we can say, okay, I don't care for that thing, but I can see what they like, what they get into it. Yeah, exactly. It's awesome.
Okay, I'm going to say one more that I think Rod might appreciate is I genuinely miss that Steak and Shake on the corner. I can't believe I'm saying it, but we have such good memories. There was one year I went with Rod, and I had no clue that there was this massive mall across the street with 75 food choices. But Rod Cusin here had me convinced that the only place to eat in Indy was at this Steak and Shake, and we went day after day after day.
Hey, when you have lots of kids, you got to go cheap. It was great food, so.
But I just remember that as much as the next year I said, I'm not going there at all. I'm not eating at Steak and Shake. But now I think I would eat at that Steak and Shake with you a few times.
Calm it down. I'm willing to calm it down now because I'll get some Chinese food in the mall or something now.
Man.
I mean, that's just the experience of it all. That's really what it comes down to. Missing it this year, just it's a shame that it had to happen, but next year we'll be right at it.
Yep, we'll be back, and we'll be headed back there again. So, all right, everybody, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there, and look forward to GenCon 2021 with you.
Oh, yeah.